Hey guys, Dr. Gabe here, and with spring finally upon us, so many of us have began to do our spring cleaning. And I want to challenge you guys to focus on more than just your homes and getting the yard and garden ready, but rather the most important thing that we've been given, our body and our mind. So today we're going to dive in to spring cleaning for your brain and body. So, what I'm going to start with is resetting the mind. Think of all that physical clutter you see. This creates mental noise. Just like if we were in a crowded room trying to have a conversation and the TV is on full blast. Now, yes, you can hear me and yes, we can have that conversation, but it's going to take a lot more processing power to get there. This constant stimulus keeps us in that sympathetic dominant state. That's why so many of us are in that go, go, go mentality, because we're not giving ourselves a moment to slow down. Now, what I challenge you is to give yourself just a single room in your house, one that is free of physical clutter, as well as detoxing from those chemicals, fragrances, and things that draw your attention. Giving yourself this space will allow your nervous system to fully engage its parasympathetics, its ability to actually rest and recover. Now, what I'm going to talk about next is resetting your body, because finally, our good friend the sun is back from its winter sabbatical. So the first thing that you can do to help reset your system is just go outside, because the sun has so many benefits for us. And I'm going to talk about 3. The first one being the blue light that comes from the sun actually signals to our brain that the day's begun. This is why we always encourage people to go on morning walks, because that initial burst of sunlight actually suppresses our melatonin and tells your body that, all right, it's time to focus. The day has started. And secondly, sunlight is directly linked to your body's ability to create serotonin. Everyone knows this chemical as it's the happy hormone, but it's actually a lot more than that. It also affects appetite, memory, impulse control. And oftentimes we see people in the winter months have drastic mood changes, drastic change in energy. That's because they're not getting sunlight and their body isn't creating enough of this vital hormone. And thirdly, this is my favorite thing the body produces. I would call it the cornerstone of health. It's vitamin D. I'm sure many of you have heard me talk about vitamin D because of how important it is. So I'll only really give you 2 main things. Firstly, it is super important when it comes to your immunology. This allows you to have a robust immune response, not only your adaptive, but your reactive. It helps produce white blood cells and helps them signal faster and respond faster. Without it, something worse happens. Without vitamin D, we can only absorb 10 to 15% of our dietary calcium. Only 10 to 15%. That's below failure. Now, without that calcium, this is going to lead to softer bones, weaker bones, and overall bone density to decrease. And nobody wants that. So go outside, get some fresh sun. And while you're out there, take your shoes off, touch the ground, because physically grounding has been shown to reduce full body inflammation as well as help balance that autonomic nervous system. This allows you to be in a better state between your sympathetics and parasympathetics. And when it comes to keeping that balanced state, make sure you're getting adjusted. Because I know we all want to be outside. We all want to do all of these activities we've been waiting for and planning for all winter long. But if we want to not only be our best, we have to take care of our body. That means getting adjusted to give our brain and body communication to be at its highest. Because when that communication is thriving, you will thrive. Because it controls everything that we do. Now, lastly, We talked about the mind. We talked about the body. Let's talk about detoxing. Simple things we can do. The first one being sunscreen. We all know the sun is great, but how many of us get sunburn during the summer because we're enjoying it just a little too much? So, sunscreen is super important. But today's day and age, you have to be very mindful of what you're putting on your body, because far too often, what we put on our body is just as toxic as we put in it. So, I'm going to hit you with some buzzwords, and don't worry, it's going to be on the newsletter so you can see these words in big bold. Oxybenzone and octanate and oxybenzone. Both of these hormones are endocrine blockers. So what that means is that they disrupt your hormone production. So oxybenzone is going to disrupt your estrogen and testosterone production, versus octinoxate is going to interfere with your thyroid function. And these are two of the biggest chemicals that are found in today's sunscreen. So a simple, easy alternative is a mineral-based sunscreen that, another buzzword for you, has micronized zinc oxide. Now, that zinc oxide is what actually reflects the UV rays and acts as a natural barrier from the UV light. And the reason you want micronized is so it's actually just a little bit more smoother to put on the skin. So, again, switching from the chemical-based sunscreens to something more mineral-based. And while we're talking about detoxing, we're going to talk about the big elephant in the room, because we all just came off of the winter, and winter is a time for comfort. We often choose that comfort over the healthier options. So I want to challenge you, not by telling you to just eat perfect, diet, but rather, what kind of energy do you want to have in July? Because if you're not giving your body the proper fuel, then how do you expect it to run the best? So I'm going to keep it pretty simple for you and just tell you two things to focus on when changing your diet. That's hydration and greens, because both of those are going to allow your body to detox and cleanse. These both support the liver, and it's the liver's primary role is to remove waste and toxins from the system. So when you support it, it will support you. So when your nutrition is dialed in and you're not putting toxins in and on your body, how are you not going to function at a higher capacity? So guys, I'll leave it there. It's pretty simple. So be proactive in your health. Be bold and trust in your body's incredible ability to heal itself. Take care.